What's up, people of the world? It's your girl, Lala.
And your boy, Siobhan.
And you're listening to
Talk That Shit.
With Melvins.
Stop playing, man.
What?
Get it right.
I got it right. You the one said pop that shit the first
I did
time.
not say that.
You started to.
Okay.
What's up? What's happening? Hard.
I feel like we haven't been on the mics in a while.
Hard.
Has it been that long? No.
No, we won't. We did one last week. We were supposed to do two.
I know, that's what it was.
Yeah, we were supposed to do two. Time got away from us though. So
Time is getting away from us.
this week, for sure. Tomorrow we're gonna film one today and tomorrow. So today's Monday. Tomorrow we're gonna film another one.
We should film another one on Thursday too.
That's fine. And then we could put one out Wednesday and like Friday or something.
Yeah, we could do that.
Or like Saturday.
Right. So is it still hot outside?
It's fucking hot. It was hot in here. I just turned the air on though.
Mm-hmm.
I was blazing, not amazing. You know?
Blazing, not amazing.
Blaze. Look at these guns, boy. Oh, she's strong.
What the fuck? Bruh. If you think her guns are big, comment down below. If they aren't, don't comment. Look at them. What is wrong with your arm? You like got a prosthetic arm. Just like,
I can't. I'm done.
yeah, so look at them eyebrows. Oh my God. We need to continue not doing live podcasts or video podcasts because these eyebrows are crazy. Look at them. I look sleepy.
Are you?
No, I just always look tired.
Open your damn eyes.
I can't. Yes.
Um.
So, I just want to know, did you rewrite all those?
I did. I erased everything and rewrote everything.
What was
Not everything, because it had our schedules up there, but
We not going by that no more?
we haven't been at this point. Shit
See?
just is time. But you know what? I'm not a schedule girl.
I was about to say.
Like, schedules don't work for me because I don't like routines. I don't like patterns.
How do you say, what is that?
I don't like staying in the same everything all the time. It don't work for me.
I know, but that's why I was like, she just wrote down. Like,
Well, because
oh, you put my XR back up there. I like that. He's so
I guess
sweet.
because it was the summertime.
No.
And, you know, I just wanted to make sure time was being distributed evenly between work and kid or family, I should say. Even though our kids wasn't hanging out with us.
At all. It was like.
Other than Colin. Colin always hangs out with us.
That's because we got food. He always want to hang out when we got food. He be like, oh, they got food.
That's true, too.
He always know he going to eat good if he hang out with us.
That's facts.
Because the minute he hang out with Nathan, he'd be like, Lunchable. He'd be like,
You don't ever actually eat it either. But
so
anyway.
nasty.
So, yeah, I rewrote everything up there. But that's beyond the point of what we're here for today. I can't wait to get my nails done, boy. Ugh.
She's been busy, huh?
Yeah. My mom was like, why you just don't text her and be like, whatever the next appointment is, put me down and let me know. I was like, that's actually a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to send her my picture. Boom. I'm trying to decide if I want to wait until we go to Disney.
That's going to come just like that.
I know. That's why I'm saying, do I wait?
You going to have brand fresh new.
I mean, I could get them done, but I don't know when her next appointment is. Either way, it don't matter. Anyway.
Why don't you set an appointment right before Disney so it's set in stone?
I know.
Don't be looking up there like that.
I thought that baby was coming. But anyway. So today's topic. So
I already know what it is.
I didn't actually ask. I mean, I didn't set this as a topic, but it kind of goes into a topic that I've had. So my question, so we were sitting down, he was playing the game. And I was actually scrolling on Instagram. I logged on this morning. And I was just bored because it's either that or play these games that I've just downloaded on my phone, and I'm getting lost in these games. I needed something else to do at the moment.
So does that mean you're bored or you're just...
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter. My brain needed better stimulation, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so I was scrolling, and Pharrell was saying, in a nutshell, was saying basically like what God has for you is for you, and Can't nobody or nothing get in the way of that, basically, is what he said. And so I asked him, I said, have you ever wondered what God has for you? And it sparked conversation. So we decided, well, I mean, we didn't go full into like actual
We
detail.
almost did.
Right. We stopped because I was like, actually, or he was like, let's save this. And I was thinking it. We was, so
In sync.
we saved it. So that's what we're talking about now, which was going into the actual topic that I had in my phone, which was, who are you? So if you want to pick up where.
What I was going to say?
Yes.
We were talking about, I think I was talking about like me leaving the house.
Well, okay. So how we got there though was when I asked him, has he ever wondered what God has, like what, like what's meant for him by God's path? Like, we started talking about work and things that don't make you happy. And so I asked him like, okay, well, do you know what makes you happy? And you said no, right?
No, I said what I'm doing right now is not what makes me happy.
And I said, how do you know?
Because I know because
he said
how
he has to leave the house. You know how people say like work is no longer work when you love what you're doing.
Right.
And so he was saying before he even leaves the house, he's already irritated and annoyed with the fact of going to this place. To do this work.
Right. And it's what's crazy is to hear like myself say that, because outside looking in, people will look at like what I do for a living and be like, yo, that is definitely it looks like a fun job. Like you're around like lights and video and performances and cameras and everything. It's like, that's amazing, because it could easily be a factory job where I go and just punch a clock and then just see and just put stuff on a you know what I mean, on a bus or a truck, or pack things up or drop stuff off. That's going to be the same routine, but I know for a fact that it's not what's meant for me, right? It's not. It's what I'm doing right now is not meant for me, because I don't feel like it makes me happy.
So it's not fulfilling to you.
It's not fulfilling at all. It was craziest, and making people laugh is like so natural to me, and like I wouldn't be surprised if my if my gift that God gave to me was to be like a comedian, or even do like voiceovers, or do something like in that nature of comedy, of just making people laugh, because I feel like laughing is food for your soul. You know what I mean? And it comes so easy to me to make people laugh and have a good time, or make them feel comfortable. And it's like I never thought that would be something that I would consider it to be. Like, that might be my what? That's yours. See, that's that bullshit. I'm gonna just cut them all off. See?
Oh, it doesn't look cool anymore. Why you didn't charge them?
They were charged. I had them ready for us.
They'll how to die. Where's the other one at?
Right here.
So give me that one then.
This one got the cops going on.
Bruh.
Boop, 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 boop. It's the sound of the police. We gonna cut all this out. My hands are so big, man. They just scrolling over the thing. Jesus, look, fucking hands is ridiculous. All right, got that one. Look at my hands.
You want me to do it?
There we go. Boom, 233. All right, put that up there.
All right, bet.
All right, bet. Look, these were like full. Oh, they're hot. Look, it just went down. They were fully charged.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, I'll give me yours, and I'll start. We can just string them out. No, not that one. The other one is dead. Oh. Well, excuse me.
Don't be dim. Shoot, 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 baby. Do, do, shoot, baby.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what God gave me as a gift, because seeing people crack the hell up or laugh or like crying on, just, and not me just cracking on people, just me just talking. Mm-hmm. It's just like,
turn your light so it's not.
Look at you. I knew your head was moving like something's bothering me.
It just was really bright in my face.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I was supposed to be like a comedian. It's fulfilling for me to have people laugh.
Fulfilling. You always throw an R in there.
Full.
Like fulfilling. That's what you say.
Fulfilling. Fulfilling. Look at your face. It's fulfilling to just see people cracking up and like, oh God, that's so funny. Like, that's, to me, it's like, it doesn't feel like work.
But, well, is it that it doesn't feel like work, or that you've never attempted it as work? To know.
No.
That was the next part of my question that I had asked him after he said what he said about going to work and knowing that that's not what is meant for him. That's not what God has planned for him or has meant to be his path. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, do you think it's just that you haven't tried enough to know?
No, because I feel like I feel like everything. Let's say I went as a full-time like a comedian, right? Mm-hmm. You have to write jokes, or you have somebody writing your jokes for you. So getting up on stage and doing these jokes, you would be like, oh God, I got to do this one night. But to do it, you'd be like, yo, I'm about to have these people cracking the heck up. You know what I mean? Because these jokes is funny.
But you've never done that.
I've never done that.
Right. So that's what I'm asking you. Is it?
You mean I never got in front of people and told jokes?
Yeah.
Oh, I done it one time.
Okay. You didn't do it as work. Like, you didn't get up and go every night to a comedy club to have a set done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
That's what I mean by you didn't do. You've done it once, and maybe you had a good time at doing it. That doesn't mean that if it was an everyday thing, or every few day thing, or whatever the case may be, that you would enjoy it still. That's
right.
why I'm asking you. Like, it's natural. Like, for me, right?
I know what you're about to say.
I've always wondered. I don't necessarily know if it's like what my purpose is. I don't want to say your purpose, because I feel like your gift, maybe your gift is different from your purpose. I think your gift helps you fulfill your purpose, but your gift is different from your purpose. Mm-hmm. And I think I know what my purpose is. It's as far as what, because I'm good at a lot of different things, right? Like I'm
sure
naturally good at a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. And I don't say that to be cocky or arrogant or anything like that, but I am. I'm good at a lot of different things. And so I never stopped to really be like, oh, which one of these things is what God has what gift, which one of these things is the gift that God gave me, mm-hmm. Until more recently. And I not realized, but I've always loved cooking. I've always loved being in the kitchen. I love baking. I love to create when it comes to the art of food. Mm-hmm. Is and has always been since a very young age, something that I was very passionate about. And so, like,
I'm getting hungry just thinking about your stuff.
And so when he was saying, like, if you never get tired of it, which that's something for me, like, if I went to work every day, See, here's the thing.
Oh, there we go.
If I were working for someone, like let's say a restaurant or in that aspect of following someone's agenda or someone else's rules and regulations and guidelines, and I had no creative outlet, and
I don't think that you enjoy
I
it.
wouldn't enjoy that.
I don't think it's.
But it's not the cooking aspect.
I was about to say it's
not.
not
Having that creative environment of my own.
That's what I was about to say.
To really showcase myself.
Yeah, because I feel like there are certain people, and you're one of them, that's like, you just like to create the stuff that you like to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'll give you an example. Michael Bay. Michael Bay is a film director, but he's a film director that just loves to create the things that he likes to come up with or like to do. He don't like somebody to slap him and give him a script and be like, hey, I want you to do it this way. He'll cut his check and pay more for his actors for them to do it the way he wants to do it. And I feel like that's somebody that just loves the process. That's what he said? Yeah. Uh-huh. That's what he did for Bad Boys 1. Uh-huh. They wanted to put it was like Howie Mandel and like somebody else, and he was like, no, like let's get Mark Lawrence. No, let's get
let's just say it was two other people.
It was two other people that you'd be like, what? And then the last couple scenes of the movie when he's like, he shoots the guy off the plane. He's like, they told him that they didn't want to do that. It was like, that's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. So he put his check up in front of the camera and was like, I'm paying for this shot because I know it's going to be an amazing shot. Put the check on there, paid everybody out of his pocket because that was part of his creativeness of, I told you they dying. Shit. That was his creativeness. That's what he loves to do. You know, he don't follow agenda of like cameras and stuff. If you ever watch a Michael Bay movie, he got like 13 different aspect ratios going on.
I don't know what that means.
Like we'll probably look later. Oh, you so smart. Look at you. Look at you. If you look at a movie, it'll be like, you'll see like black bars at the top and then you won't see them no more. You'll see them on the side or you'll see them at the top again because he shoots with 45 different cameras, but they're not all the same. Like, he's not like, oh, I just want them to be all just in sync. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, we need cameras. Like, give me that give me that Walmart camera over there, or give me the brand new camera right here, or that camera. No.
So in other words, what you're saying is, like I said, having that freedom. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about me. Like, I feel like people have laughed so many times when I say this. Like, I'm a bird.
Yeah, you like to be free.
I like to be free. I'm like that free spirited person. And when I'm put into a box, I kind of, that's exactly what it does to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just like makes me go like this because it doesn't feel like who I am as a person. And so I've questioned, even now, like we were just talking because we always talk. Here I am looking up things about the Bible because that's where I'm struggling the most in my life is spirituality. So I'm looking things up and I'm over here like, this is this, and this is this, and this says this, and this says this, and the Bible says this, and I don't really understand. And I understand, but I don't really believe that. And so then he asks me, do you believe, because we were watching Unexplained, Unexplained thing?
Unexplained with William Shatner.
Yeah, on Netflix.
William Shatner.
They're talking about cults on this particular episode. And so he goes, do you think churches are cults? And I said, yeah. And then I changed it and I said, no, I think religion is a cult. Mm. And so he said, do you feel that way about all religions or just some in particular? I believe it's something to that nature of what you said. Mm-hmm. And I said, I believe all of them. And so he goes, who are you? Are you becoming an atheist? And I'm like, no. And then I had to like kind of sit back because it's just to the point where I just don't, I'm almost tired of trying to figure it out, trying to understand what I don't understand, and trying to put logic not necessarily even logic, but trying to make sense of things that don't make sense.
Right.
And when there's no one to help give me answers as to what it is I'm looking for, and I pray about these things, but it's like, how do I, and it's so freaking crazy. How do I know? Remember I said this to you last night? How do I know what God is saying? Like, how am I sure or clear as to what he's telling me, or as to what is and or isn't for me? Like, why didn't Elijah just send me a sermon Michael Todd did on YouTube, and it says how to hear God? It's about how to hear God.
Oh, we gonna watch that?
Yeah.
Yo, you be holding out, man.
She just sent it to me right before we started.
Got it with that.
But it's crazy because it's just like,
There's two of them I want to watch.
actually she sent me one this morning too, but early this morning. But yeah, so I'm just like, it's kind of just like we feel as people, as humans, right? Because I don't want to say like we feel as God's children, because everybody doesn't necessarily believe in God, you know. And everybody isn't necessarily spiritual or religious, you know what I mean? So I don't want to just put everybody in a category, but we believe as like humans walking this earth that we feel certain things, and then we're also taught to go with our intuition, go with those gut feelings. And so it's like, okay, but if I feel like this is meant for me, like if I feel like I'm supposed to like hold this, then shouldn't that mean that that's something that God has for me? But then
not necessarily.
And
not
so
necessarily.
it's like,
because it might be just it might just be something like a stepping stone. Go ahead. I got something to say.
but isn't a stepping stone still part of what's meant for you?
No.
Has to be.
No.
Because every step gets you to where you're supposed to be.
No, because a step can be a pivot mark. A step can be like you stepped in the wrong direction to know that this is not what you need to be doing. A stepping stone, like, let me give you an example. Well, not give you an example. Like you can use a stepping stone. It can go either way. It can be a stepping stone for you. You can go back 10 spaces because you think that every stepping stone is actually like a milestone. It's something to take you closer to where you're supposed to be. You can get a new job and be like, yo, the money's there. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at this as a stepping stone, but that might put you behind like 5 years
But it doesn't matter if it puts you behind or pushes you forward. What's for you is still meant for you. So you're still going to get something out of that is still going to take you further to your destination. Yes, no?
I guess yes. I guess yes. Yes. Like I feel like God talks to me anytime I start like getting into the groove of thinking that this is going to help me. And I feel like he talks to me and be like, this is only temporary.
But this is only temporary and this is meant for you, or this isn't meant for you. Is that the same thing?
Yes, because I feel like God tells me every time I go to work, this ain't meant for you. Because he makes me uncomfortable with being there.
But that's my point. So if you're uncomfortable going somewhere, you think that God doesn't want you, you feel, because that's a feeling, you feel.
I feel it.
The divine nature of this isn't for you, right?
Yeah.
What is the difference between feeling that divine, no, don't do this, and the divine, yes, this is for you? Even if you feel like, even if it comes to the light that maybe it wasn't meant for you.
Because sometimes I feel like that divine that's talking to me. Jesus Christ, I just forgot every old people shit.
Divine Nine. That's your stage name. Divine Nine.
No,
welcome to the stage, Divine Nine.
You stupid. Oh no, when I feel like it's kind of like this. I get put in a situation where I can do these things, and then it can further us. But then I get that other feeling of like, bro, this ain't what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I'm only doing this for temporary because other things in the works, but I'm gonna still make you uncomfortable because what I do for a living, I can easily get real comfortable and do it and make tons of money and be happy. And a lot of people would put their happiness based on how much money they make.
Right.
You know, so I don't look at the money aspect of it, but I look at how it can help us get to the real plan at hand. Because like I said, when I go to work, I'm bored as fuck. I'm uncomfortable and I can't.
It is crooked.
All right, I'll fix that in post. Jesus Christ.
I just saw the table.
I know, I saw it too. But yeah, I feel like it's a very uncomfortable feeling. You know what I mean? It gets my mind going, and I start thinking, and I start like not getting depressed, but I start getting like down. Like I know for a fact that I'm not.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So with you saying that, you feeling like it gets you down when you get to that point of like, I know this isn't what he has planned for me. And like, I mean, just using you as an example, you've been doing this field of work for the last 10 years, almost 11 at this point. Not just that in particular, just the whole industry.
Yes.
It's been 10 years,
Been 10 years,
almost
yes.
11 years at this point.
Oof.
And it's like, if this isn't meant for you, and if God knows how uncomfortable you are, and he knows how badly you desire to do something else, why hasn't he stepped in to allow that?
Because I think that I think that everything is creating to get you somewhere. And I feel like when you miss that opportunity of actually turning left when you're supposed to turn right, he has to reroute you some type of way. And I feel like
the journey.
So I feel like the journey was always, I feel like our journey was supposed to be something totally different 9 years ago. Chum is how old? 10. So 9 years ago, I feel like our journey was supposed to be something totally different, which was not being here. And I feel like when we missed that opportunity, he rerouted us to be like, all right, cool. Y'all can still make that left. And then you go down the road and you make another right. And he's like, you just not listening to me.
So in other words, you've kept missing your opportunity.
Yes. And I feel like that because out of my whole 10 years of doing what I do now, I feel like each part of my career is broken into 3 years. You know what I mean? And I feel like now that I understand more about myself and understand that there is a journey and understand that regardless if I think that I'm supposed to do something, this is actually what I'm supposed to do because this feels so natural. I feel like he's giving me those contacts to be like, now is the time. I've only put you in this situation for you to do these things, meet these people, so now there isn't no right turn. It's just a left. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel it.
You know, I'm a hold you to this. I feel like God put me to do Lionel Richie for me to meet that Netflix guy, and not even to meet the Netflix guy for that. I think that was the opportunity for us to do other things that's going to fall into that umbrella of things.
I mean, and I think that that's beautiful. See, my problem is that I don't even want to say that I'm not patient because I feel like I've been very patient within my life, given a lot of my circumstances throughout my life. And I just feel like at what point, you know how like there's people who like they get whatever it is that they want like right away. And then the people that have been fighting and continue to fight, it's just like we are always fighting.
I feel like they're fighting for the wrong thing.
Who's fighting for the wrong?
I said, I feel like some of the people that are fighting and they're trying to fight. Like, I feel like you having patience isn't what you're supposed to have. I think you're not supposed to have patience.
No.
I'm talking about in the instance, like in like the state of mind right now. I feel like you're the pusher that's like.
Because here's my thing. I'm very impulsive and I'll jump up and do something quick and won't think about it.
I think that's what's supposed to happen right now.
I think that that's really how life is supposed to be lived. I totally agree. But at the same time, with having a family, you definitely have to be a little more thoughtful and a little more patient within those thoughts. Because if not, then you're not just ruining your life, if that's what it comes to.
But who's to say it's ruining it?
I just said if that's what it comes to. Mm-hmm. You have to think about everybody around you, which is what I've learned to do, because it's not just about me. I have an entire family that I have to think about. Now, I'm not saying that the decisions or the opportunities that God has placed in front of me, or that I feel like he's placed in front of me, or the obstacles or the opportunities or whatever you want to call them, haven't always led to something good. But it's like, sometimes I wonder, like, when do I get to the things that I actually desire? Like, when do I get to those things? Like, how long do I keep fighting and praying and asking for what you claim to have for me? Like, when do you give me what you claim to have for me? Or is this what you claim to have had for me and I already have it and I just haven't seen it? And this is the end of my journey. That would be really trash. I'm sorry.
No, I think that I think through other vessels, he speak to you, and you just are like, maybe in doing time.
Well, here's the thing. If he's going to speak to me through other vessels to try and get me to the point of what he has for me, he needs to be speaking through the right vessel. Because
how do you know he's not speaking through the right vessel?
Because you can't place hypocrites in front of me that try to tell me things that are allegedly from you, but they are literally a walking contradiction. Like, you can't do that.
Let me give you an example, right? You did a brunch, right? Mm-hmm. Where did that come from?
What you mean, where did it come from?
Like, did that just something that popped up in your head? You're like, I'm going to do this.
I've always wanted to entertain and cook and do things like that.
Right.
Like, I've always been like, yeah, I'm going to be one like cooking.
Right.
Like Thanksgiving dinners. And
let me ask you a question. Did everything come up 100% that you needed? Did everything happen the way you needed it to happen?
No, never. That's why I don't like to plan things.
Right.
But
the outcome.
I always be on top. Like, I've never been one to be like, oh my God, it's not working. Like, shit always works out for me because that's just the type of person I am.
And how did everybody feel after that?
Great. But to me, it's not about how everybody else felt.
See?
It's about how I felt.
But what I'm saying is, how did you feel afterwards?
I felt good.
You felt amazing.
But I also felt like there needed to be improvements. Like, things could have been different.
Right. But that's just your spirit at all. That's just your spirit, right? That's just who you are as a person.
I strive to be perfect. I told y'all before, I strive to be perfect, even though I know perfect doesn't exist in this human form.
So what if that non-human form spoke in those vessels of saying like, hey, you got something here? That aren't hypocrites in that instance.
Listen, I feel like this. I feel like I know what's for me, but does that mean that that's what God has for me? That's the problem.
It's not a problem.
That is the problem. That's the problem / the question. Have you ever wondered what he has for you? Because what if what I feel is for me isn't what he has for me? I'm fucked. Because here it is. I'm here spending time doing what I genuinely love to do, what I like thrive off of, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I love to cook. Like, I love to cook for people. I love to feed people. Like, that's what I love to do.
Right.
But what if that's not what I'm actually supposed to be doing? What is that? What if that's not what he has planned for? Like, what if that's not even supposed to be part of my path? What if I'm on the wrong journey?
Well, you find it out once you do it. Once you start doing it.
Well, but come on.
What?
Who wants to go through all of that? Like, hello, let me know. Like, is this right or is this wrong? Because I feel like it's right. But if it's wrong, how am I supposed to know it's wrong if ain't nobody telling me it's wrong?
How you supposed
AKA him.
How you know it's supposed to be wrong if you never do it and feel that it's wrong? Because you'll feel it in a heartbeat once you, because that's the I feel like that's the problem.
But what if you feeling that it's wrong is not right? What if you feeling is wrong is the complete opposite of what he wants for you? What if that's actually what you're supposed to be doing?
Then it's gonna always be. Then it's gonna be.
Where that baby?
He right
him.
there.
Hi, stinker. You want to come sit? You can come sit.
Yeah, I feel like that it's, if I want to be an actor, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm taking these acting classes, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be an actor. You know what I mean? And I get on the screen, I'm doing acting, and I'm like, you know what?
Okay.
Yes. We are.
I don't even know where we left off at. Quick little filler. We stopped because
I don't even want to talk about it.
These teachers are full of shit at these schools.
Yes, they are.
And they think they could talk to anybody's kid any type of way. Bitch, you got the right one.
Right.
So
the right one, baby.
You got the right one, baby.
Uh-huh.
I finally calmed down.
Yeah. So we
were talking about what if, I know when Colin came down, because he came down right before they walked through the door. Mm-hmm. We were talking about what if what you think is right or what you think is wrong,
I remember where we at,
is not what God has planned for you, or is so like if you think what you're doing right now is not what you're meant to be doing, but what if that is what you're supposed to be doing?
Give me the pen.
No. I
remember what I was doing. I was talking about you doing your brunch and stuff, right? And everybody was.
We were past that. No, we wasn't. Yeah, we were. We were just talking about what I said we were talking about. If what we feel is right for us, what if it's not actually what God had planned for us? And what if we think is wrong for us is actually what he has planned for us, and vice versa?
Yes, I think that.
You think what?
I think that's what happens. People be like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. And it's like, no.
That's why I was saying. So what if you feeling like going to work is not, like what you do right now for work is not what you feel like, it's not what you're supposed to be doing. Like that's not what God has planned for you. Like that's not your path. Mm-hmm. But what if that is?
Because when it's your path, it no longer feels like work.
But what if?
No. There's no way around it, because if it's a pleasure I'm going to get to a point where I'm like, you know what? This is what I actually like this. I don't like the shit I do at all. I don't. So I always feel as if it's work. I always feel as if it's like, even the little things that I do as far as making it creative, it's still like, okay, it is what it is. It's still work. And it's only crazy because I do the creative things and I'm like excited to do the creative things. But when I see it and I'm done and then it's like, it becomes like a staple, then I'm like, I'm bored now. You know what I mean? So to constantly know that in my life, God has always told me like, yo, you are a creative dude, or you need to make people laugh, or you need to be doing this type of thing, or you need to be doing this. I always felt like,
go ahead.
I always felt like that wasn't work, you know?
Okay, so what is it exactly? Like right now in this very moment, pinpoint exactly what it is that you are supposed to be doing. Like, what do you think, like when they say what God has for you, are you doing what God has planned for you? Do you feel like you're doing exactly what God planned for you?
Not at all.
What is it? Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to be a comedian, actor, or voiceover. I think that's my thing. I think I'm supposed
So you want to do comedy, but you I mean, you've always acted.
Yes.
That's always been a passion
And
of yours.
and I felt like when I was doing it, it always found its way into my life at all the right times where all the times that I was like, I'm not gonna do that. It finds its way back, and then it no longer becomes. It's not a job. Anytime I do it, it's not a job. It's just full blown. Whether you think I'm a good actor or not a good actor or whatever, I still felt as if it was.
That's what you've always been passionate about.
It's passionate. It's
and
fun.
Comedy.
It's
more comedy based. So like a Eddie Murphy, Kevin Hart.
Yes. I feel like that's what
Martin Lawrence.
Yes, ride along. You know what I mean? Those type of things where I'm not. Yeah, just I'm able to just improv or have fun or create. You know what I mean? I can say stuff off script where they like, yo, that shit was funny as hell. Like, what made you think? And I feel like that's what
I don't think you're that funny.
Okay, you ain't got to think I'm that funny. What the fuck?
I think I'm that funny. You see how I just made you laugh?
You are hilarious.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I think my purpose is.
I think you're actually hilarious. And I actually think that I think a comedic actor is that's like spot on.
Yeah, because I can't be serious because I'm not a serious person. I just look like a trash serious actor. Like I can't be like Brad Pitt, like eating an apple, like we gotta rob this bank. That just doesn't sound.
And the way you're so animated and the way that you talk or just speak or try to explain things, the drama of his personality.
Right.
Bro, it screams like actor.
It's funny because even when I'm programming shows, I do that. I'll be like, do, bow, 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 boop, 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 boop. I do that. Dramatic. And they be like, what the fuck are you doing? Then I play it back and they be like, wow.
Dramatic, bro. I've never seen you work. I think that's so trash.
It's because you ain't like me. You ain't like me.
Well, you were trash.
We're going to cut that out.
Why?
Because I was trash. I know I was trash. But yeah.
It is so time for a new nose ring, I think.
I looked at your nose ring and I said, oh, she's so fine with that.
I kind of want to get... I was actually thinking about piercing it myself.
Okay, listen. Don't judge me for this, but I really have been considering the little hoops in my ear.
Okay, do it.
I want to do them so bad.
But
I just ain't bought none. Yeah, I've been considering like.
I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. You can get them crosses like they wore in.
No, I'm not doing that.
Why?
Because that means I would have to get the ones with Jesus Christ on them.
My papa had some.
But your papa was fly as fuck.
He was fly.
He was fly as hell.
My daddy has them too, but he was fly too. So
yeah, so I want the hoop.
Get hoops.
I want the hoops, like the little small ones.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's, and it's crazy because even in college, and they was like, yo, you want to act? And I was like, heck yeah. And I came in audition and they was like, this not your major? And I was like, nah, I'm a business major.
You should have known at that point that it was time to switch majors,
and
bro.
I remember G like, bro, I didn't know you had that in you. And I was like,
were you supposed to know? I'm just kidding.
But he just was cracking up the whole time in the rehearsals and stuff because I used to just say stupid stuff or I used to act a certain way. And then anytime we did a show, I did my DMX prayer, and everybody used to be like, yo, you got to do the DMX prayer.
I love when you do your DMX impersonation.
And they be like, so that was the thing. So
I think that it's amazing that that you know that about yourself. I just, you know me. I question everything.
You know it is. You know what it is that you love to do.
I feel like I do, but at the same time I feel like I don't because I feel like even though I love cooking, I love feeding people, I love baking. I don't really know. I don't know how to share that with people. Like I share like with my family, right? Like family events or like right now I'm doing brunches with my family. You know, I'll like groups because it's a bunch of us. So it'll be like groups of people or whatever. I'll do a brunch. Everybody's brunch is different and everything. And I think that that's great. And, you know, it gives our family more of a, like more time to like come together and like bond and stuff outside of like things like holidays or like random weekends, etc. But as far as like sharing that gift with the outside world, like people that aren't friends and family, I don't know how to share that gift without feeling like I don't want to do that.
I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like you're in another 2 or 3 years, you're going to be like Taste.
Taste? What's Taste?
Taste is like the little Facebook group.
Oh, Tasty.
Tasty. I feel like that's going to be you. And the reason I say that is because you love to cook, but you would love, I feel like your recipes and just for you to just show how you make certain things is going to be.
I mean, people tell me all the time, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that.
But what if that's God's talking to them to be like, to tell you?
But what if I don't feel that? What if that's God talking to me?
Oh, well, shit.
You feel me? Like,
you'll never know.
There's not a single time on camera I feel comfortable other than right here. Is that weird?
No, because honestly, this may be your calling.
But I said that too.
This may be your calling.
But that's my thing.
You like I feel like this may be your calling when it gets to a bigger stage where we're able to do more things and this can turn into other things. Like I feel like this may be your way of healing people or being able to send out messages a certain way. But I also feel like out of that, you're gonna still cook for people.
Well, yeah, no, because I do genuinely enjoy.
This is the only time you're comfortable on camera?
All the times that I've done all those makeup tutorials, you remember I've never wanted to talk. Like, if I could not show my face and do a makeup tutorial, I would. Like, I don't want to be on camera.
That makes no sense.
I don't like being on camera. You've tried to film me cooking. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't feel comfortable in those elements being on camera. The only time I'm comfortable being on camera is sitting in my podcast space. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, this might be
even when I stream, it's not even like being uncomfortable on camera. You know, playing video games when you stream. It's like whatever. Like it's not anything to me. But like this, like podcasting, like this shit for me, like this is everything. Like I don't care, like the camera, like me and the camera, we hear, you know, speaking like we hear.
Well, you found
this is where I'm most open. I feel like where I'm most like vulnerable to the world. But I've said that too, and that's why I'm like, I don't understand. Like, is this or this? Like, what is it that
it don't have to be? I don't feel like it has to be one thing. I feel like it can be multiple things. But if you know in your heart, and there is a way that this is always pushing you to this to make you feel comfortable, and it doesn't feel like work. Like when we do a podcast, do you ever be like, oh my God, we got to film a podcast?
Never.
Exactly.
I get excited to film. I get disappointed when we don't film when we're supposed to film.
Oh,
like,
me too.
It pisses me off.
Me too. It makes me feel some type of way, like we haven't bonded.
Like if we can't, like if we could film a podcast every single day,
I would.
Yeah, and I would do it multiple times a day because one, we're always talking, like always, like conversations never stop, and not just like, oh, what you want to eat for dinner, like deep conversations, like we talk about every fucking thing, everything.
It's to the point where we be like, what you want to eat? Maybe some pork chops, and then we be like, you know what? What if the pork chop was actually a bear, and the bear ate? That's how crazy it is, but.
Don't say
what's crazy is you already know.
Actually, a bear.
You already know what makes you happy. So why are you?
Hear my back just now?
No, that was my stomach.
No, that was my back.
Well, my stomach's at the same time. Your back just cracked, but you already know. Why are you second guessing what you know?
Because I don't. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you know? Like, when does he clarify? Like, yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like when when people know, like, this is what I'm here for, right? What sign, opportunity, epiphany, what happens? Like, what message from God do you receive, and how do you receive that message that lets you know, yes, that is the right path?
Can I make that for you? Number one, you said you're not shy on camera.
Right.
Number two, you can do this all day if it's given. Number three, you don't mind investing in it.
No.
Investing time, money,
right,
your personality. Number four, you're comfortable. Number five, it doesn't feel like work. Number six, it makes you happy for you to even think about it. Number seven, you think about it all the time because that's where you come up with your podcast topics. Number eight, you're smiling. What other signs do you need?
I don't know. Something more clear, something like, I don't know. Like, I would love to make this like a career. Like, for me, for us, this is what we do, right? Like, and I love it. I love it. I would like to, we've had opportunities that we've taken to financially benefit from this, right?
Right.
But if I could make that consistent, like, if this could really be like if I could really do this and be financially
you just got to spend the money there.
Legit. I don't even know how to say it. Like, financially, consistent, financially consistent in doing this. What I loved, like, boy, I will never. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if this was what I'm supposed to be doing in the way that I love this, why aren't you showing me that I can do more with it? Like, tell me, like, give me the opportunity to be able to financially contribute to.
He did.
No. Where?
Let me tell you why.
When?
When we was going hardcore last year and you was getting sponsors by Best Fiend, you was getting sponsors by Savage Fenty, you was getting sponsors all the time. You were in the role. You just got to think about it. He's already given you your signs of, like, you can do this all day. Now it's just an investment tool.
So you're saying that I'm not doing, like,
we're not doing
enough?
No, I don't think that we're investing enough in it. And I'm not saying like us not doing a podcast. I mean like us investing our money for us to be put on a bigger stage, because we do it at the bare minimum. Only thing we pay for, honestly, is for us to host our podcast, right? Mm-hmm. We edit all our stuff. Can you stop, please?
I look crooked.
Okay. We edit all our stuff.
Yeah.
We don't pay for promotions to be seen on Instagram. We don't pay for promotions for it to be on Facebook. We don't pay for promotions to be on iHeart.
So you're saying that we should be putting more into our podcast.
Yes,
financially to gain.
So
and we both say that all the time. You have to spend money to make.
You got to spend money, because if you think about it, you spend $1,000 on having the podcast. Who's to say that don't bring 500,000 people? And those 500,000 people is going to get you to somewhere.
Notoriety.
Yeah, it's going to get you syndicated, or it's going to get you, hey, you know what? We're going to put you on the top 5 list. We do the bare minimum, and we already getting like, hey, you guys are actually doing amazing jobs at the bare minimum. We put out a podcast once a week. There's people out there that pay for promotion. Joe Rogan. Mm-hmm. What's wrong?
Light went out.
You see? I think it's the heat.
Yeah.
You got Joe Rogan. You got all these people that actually put money behind their podcast to be in front of eyes. So when you flip down, you do it.
Okay. So what about the cooking aspect? Like, okay, so let me tell you, my brother tells me that he feels like I heal people through my food, because he said like he feels like when he eats my food, like all he gets is love. Like right. Like his words, right? Like, and I don't want to do one more than the other, because I feel like, oh, okay, well, this one is more of a passion than this one, because I feel like I equally love both of those things.
Right.
Is it like I said in the beginning, like I'm good at a lot of things. I think I'm great at cooking, and I think I take it very serious, but in a very non-serious way. Does that make sense?
Makes very sense.
And I believe that I'm great at podcasting, and I've heard people tell me, or people have told me,
your voice,
how much they love me on the
Right.
on this podcast or whatever the case may be, and all that good stuff. And, you know, it's not even the compliments or whatever that drive me. I appreciate that. And I'm very thankful and grateful for, you know, the people that listen or the people that enjoy my food, etc. But I just feel like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, how do you
balance both?
Or is it okay to have
Yes. Guaranteed, because
two? Like, does God give two gifts? Like, does he give more than one?
Because I feel like there's multiple people out there. There's me, like I said. I love what I do. I love acting. You know what I mean? I love comedic acting. But who's to say that I can't start? Who says I can't start a hat line with my son and balance both of them out?
Yeah, but
Who's to say I can't bring out a sock line with my wife?
no, and I know, but would it be? See, would it be? Is that what you're passionate about, or is it just something that you decided to do because you wanted something to do that you guys love to do together?
No, I'm passionate about hats. I'm mad that they don't make certain hats anymore. So for me, it would be like, yo, these are the type of hats that I love to wear. So I'm passionate. I've always wore hats.
Yeah, but I think that's different than a gift. Does that make sense?
My gift would be for me to put out in the world that.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
You got to think that there's designers that have a God gift ability, and their God gift ability.
But I feel like you're just giving the fact that you are passionate about hats as a gift, and that's not the same thing. I'm passionate. I've always loved shoes and clothes. Like, I've always been like into fashion, always, right? But I wouldn't say that I'm equally as passionate about shoe or fashion as I am this. And
No. What we were talking about is, are you able to do more than one thing?
But no, I said, does God give you two gifts? That's what I said.
I think God gives you as many gifts that He wants. And not to talk about God, but who says that those gifts come from God? What are those gifts from you? I feel like we based on what somebody else put on us for us to be.
But He's not somebody else, because He's not a person.
Amen.
See? And then
It-
there
it
goes,
is-
and then
it-
and then there goes that.
I mean,
See, and then it's conversations like these, and I'm like, I've thought about that.
you know, who's to say that He wants? Who's to say that I'm supposed to be one of the best fucking media server programmers out there? That's the God-given ability that He gave me. But who's to say I want that? Who's to say I want that? This shit makes me crazy. So you mean to tell me that you're gonna put something in my life that makes me crazy and not makes me not happy?
That's my point, though. How do we know what is and or isn't for us?
I feel like we don't until we do it.
That doesn't make sense. Because if you do it and you don't like it, what if it is for you, though? What if that's why you're good at
Then
it?
I feel
What
like
if
you
that's
gotta
why you're
find-
great? What if that's why you're listed as the top 3 in the city?
Because I feel like that you need to find a different way to do it that makes you happy. If I'm one of the best media server people in the actual city, based on what I do now, I need to figure out a way that God is giving me these abilities to be like, you know what? I need to do this in a way that makes me happy and not feel like work.
But that's what I'm saying. So technically what you're doing is for you.
No, because
Yeah, what you're doing is for you.
no, you said we were making a point. if that was the thing. Because at the end of the day, I would map certain stuff and then I would act in it and that there we go. Now I'm back to my actual what makes me feel like it's not a job anymore.
But doing what you do, you still do what you do. You would still be doing what you're doing. It just wouldn't be on someone else's time. So what you're doing is for you, yes.
We can go all day with this, but I don't know. I don't think that.
You just said it though.
I said it a different way. Like you think about this. You don't feel comfortable being on a camera cooking food, right? You don't physically feel comfortable, but you thought about somebody said, "Well, why don't you use your hands? Have a camera over your hands."
And I still was like,
You still was like, but what if that was the guy was like, yeah, you don't have to be comfortable on the camera. You'll never see that they're on. They're over you.
You'll never wait, what?
You'll never be like, damn, the camera is on me and I feel uncomfortable. No, because the camera would be over you and you're just using your hands. The camera is constantly rolling. All you're doing is putting together your stuff. So you're just actually just cooking while somebody's recording you.
But if I don't want to film, period.
And that's something that you don't.
I don't want to film. It doesn't have anything to do with me, like y'all seeing me on camera. I don't like. What's the purpose of me cooking on film?
So then that's not something that you love. So something that you may love would be like a cookbook that says from me to you. That you put together a cookbook of all the things that you love to make because you want people to experience those things. And the only people that can experience those things are your close family.
But what's crazy is, I mean, that's a good idea, but
you fighting.
I feel it's not that I'm fighting. I just feel like.
Oh, they can see that on the camera.
See what?
I don't like that.
I just feel like you're not enjoying the food the same way if you're cooking it on your own. You know how like you get a recipe, and you cook it, and it's not that your recipe is bad. It just doesn't taste like your mom's.
But who's to say
that's because it's your mom.
But who's to say that it's your? Who says it's the full blown recipe that gets people going? It might be that the notation of, you know what, she gave me this recipe, but I'm gonna put my own spin on it, and now it's how I like it. You've done that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
you are fighting today.
It's not. You're not making sense because you're not listening to what I'm saying.
I am.
If I cook a meal, right, and my brother says to me, when you cook and I eat, all I feel is love. Someone cooking that same meal, you probably won't get that same feeling from that meal.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. A cookbook is a great idea because, yes, that is a way of me sharing this gift. But at the same time, if I feel like the gift is healing through food, if I'm not the one cooking it for you, then you're not getting that healing from me.
Right, that's
all I'm saying. There is no but. That's it.
But no, because I'm saying to you, if you feel that strongly about people being able to eat your food and feel that love, but the minute that you start cooking it for other people, you're like, I don't really care for cook for a bunch of people, then that's not your passion. That's not what you love to do. That's not what you love to do, because anybody that loves to cook, they don't care if they're cooking for 1 million people, 2 million people, 10 people, 5 people, or 1 person. They just love the fact that they're creating to cook some food for somebody to love it.
I don't mind cooking for people though. I just don't want to work for people.
Okay, so
I also don't want my own restaurant because it's stressful.
There you go.
But it's stressful. I would never work in my own restaurant. That shit's stressful.
Okay, so what are the ways that you can cook for people? How you do it now? Cook for events. Because some people, I mean, everybody don't have the same taste buds as you. I mean, as everybody else. I mean, I know your food is good as hell, but somebody might not like the way you cook.
Well, duh. But that's anything and anybody and anywhere.
I mean, I know that's not true, but I mean.
No, that's anything.
So
I mean, there may be people that don't like me on this podcast. What the fuck that got to do with anything?
I guarantee they still watching it just to see what you gonna say.
But what does that have to do with anything? Is what I'm saying. You saying there may be people that don't like. What does that have to do with anything? That's not the point. There's going to be people that don't like the way you dress simply because they didn't like the way you dress. So that means you're going to change it? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Nothing, Law. Nothing.
Exactly, because you ain't making no real points, brother.
I mean, you know what your love is, but you keep fighting against your love.
I'm not fighting anything. I'm just trying to figure out if this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Because if not, why would I waste my time? That's what I'm saying. How am I supposed to know?
Because it's
no. How am I supposed to know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing based off of what God wants for me as His child? If this is what I'm supposed to be doing, when is He going to let me know that yes, baby girl, you're doing what I want you to do? When? This can't be this for forever. It has to be more to it. If this is what I'm supposed to do, if this is what genuinely makes me happy, and I don't mean when I say like, this can't be it. Like if I feel like I want to do more, like I want to have guests, or if I feel like I would like to make profit from it, or if I feel like eventually I want to branch out and have my own radio show. We've talked about that before. Show me something that shows me that I'm supposed to go further in this.
I feel like he's already showing you. It's the fact that
Bruh.
I feel like
Tell me what he's showing me.
He's showing you because of all the things that I just named. You're comfortable with it. You can do it.
That don't mean nothing.
It
Anybody
does.
I'm
Because
comfortable walking bare ass naked outside too. That mean I'm supposed to run outside naked all day every day?
no, you'll get your house and do that. But I'm just saying though, it's just who's to say that? I mean, you're just second guessing it because you're not seeing a straight sign of it.
Exactly.
So how do you?
I'm second guessing because when does the sign come in? I know I'm not the only person. Like you really feel like you're on the right path, and then you be like, okay, well, am I on the right path? Because
No, I mean, no. I definitely second guess a lot
Can I get
of.
the opportunity to go further in this? And that's anybody. Whether it's like if you're a DJ and you DJing for 10 years straight, you're good. Like you know you're good. People around you tell you you're good. And you're like, let's say you're booking events, but it's just like little stuff. Like, when do I get that moment of like the big, like, yes, I did it. I made it.
But it may be year 11. But if you over here second guessing it on year 10 and a half, then you know.
I mean, but if you so you can't second guess and continue to do it?
No, you can. But I'm just, you ever see the little picture? They have this guy and he's like underneath like the dirt, and he's like, it's two people, and there's one person that's like digging the dirt out, and then the other person's walking back, but then right behind the dirt is gold, and the other person at the bottom was like, I've been doing this for too long, so I'm just not gonna do it anymore.
That's funny. When to give up? We're gonna have to stop because that's the next topic.
Yeah, but that shit that goes hand in hand. You know, I feel like it's timeless when you doing something that you love to do, because regardless of if you're gonna make big bank from it, a little bank from it, you just have to trust and believe that you know what I mean. I'm gonna invest my time. It's so
hard to just. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's so hard for me to just be like, oh yeah, I just trust and I believe. Give me something to believe in.
The problem is it's not just the belief in this; it's the belief in a lot of things right now.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah,
I have a problem. Like I have an actual. Like I don't trust and believe in anything.
Well, how do you trust and believe in yourself and having?
Because I know me. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm gonna do. But anything outside of me is questionable. I've always told you that. I know I can rely on me.
Right.
I know I can do what's necessary for me, and I know that I'm going to do what's necessary for my children. Anything outside of that is questionable.
I feel like when it's something that's for you, it always finds its way back to you.
So does that include people?
No, what I mean is because people have a form of attaching to somebody.
Okay.
So,
But don't we have a form of attaching to anything?
No, what I mean by something coming back to it is the fact that you find a way.
It's really only one meaning.
You find a way back to it.
Yeah. So does that mean is that the same thing for people? If it's meant for you, they'll come back, right? That's what they say. If it's meant to be, it'll come back. Let it go. If it's meant to be, it'll come back. That's what they say, yes?
Yeah, they say that. They say it.
Question. Tell me what you think about it.
Shut up.
Just saying.
It's time to go get a drink. You stressing me the fuck out.
I'm stressing you out?
No, it's just a conversation we gonna have after this.
What did we decide on dinner? Oh, I remember.
So yeah, I mean, if you see, I feel as though another thing, if we go full force into this and put money into it, you're gonna be like, damn, we shouldn't be spending that much money on it.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. Because I want to do. I mean, I've been talking about eventually having my own like radio show. I've been talking about that for a minute.
Right.
I've been talking about that for a minute. Like this is the only, outside of like me and you talking personally and maybe like Nalasia. This is the only space where I am completely vulnerable.
Well, you know exactly what you need to do. You just need to invest that time and that money. Because honestly, you have to, and nowadays with certain things, you got to think about this. 10 years ago, you couldn't stop. 10 years ago, you couldn't open up your phone and find a podcast. 10 years ago, unless you was on a radio station.
I mean, I don't know. Cause
yeah. So you got to,
10 years ago, I still wasn't tech savvy.
Yeah. So you got to think about, now the day and age that is so much people that's trying to start podcasts for their own reasons. You know, some people might want to do it to make money. Some people might do it to push an agenda through, or some people might just do it because they love to do it. But you got to also invest in yourself where you're on a platform that's higher than everybody else. And if that means being able to spend the money for advertisement, spend the money on better equipment so you sound better spend money on a website where people can actually go to your website. Spend the money on the ads where people can actually see your podcast without your cousin or somebody.
I have like major anxiety. My legs won't stop fucking moving. Go ahead.
I know. But I'm just saying, if you feel like this is the time, then this is the time for you to start investing. And I feel like to invest in something that you love, there is no price tag. Because you have to find a way to move, because I feel like that's how life is. You have to move money from somewhere else to something that you love.
So in other words, you are saying that I'm not doing enough.
No,
I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, like,
I mean, there's certain things that, we thought about saving money. So we're not going to go and get office space. But who's to say we get the office space now, we can start having more guests. We can start having people do certain things. Then we hit a different platform. You got to think about when we have people on for our ED, all those people, you know what I mean? They all like reposted it, and people say, "Oh shoot," you know what I mean? You don't know how many people we actually gained from that.
Yeah, and I wish. And that's the thing. You're right, and because I wish like we were able to have them come and sit with us.
Yeah, it would have been
it's
a whole
so much
different
more
thing.
intimate. Like the vibe was great just on the phone, but it's so much more like the feel is just everything when you're able to really be in a room with a bunch of people and have like valid, like real conversation.
Right. And who's to say that platform isn't your main substance for you to start outskirting doing other things? Because at that point, you might feel comfortable because you're around other people and you're always talking. You might feel comfortable to have another station, or you might feel comfortable to do
weird?
What?
In person, outside of this podcast, I'm not a talker.
I know, but I'm saying this is what you do.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. The Breakfast Club is known for people coming on and having conversations.
I love the Breakfast Club, man.
But you got to think about all of them got other things going because of the Breakfast Club.
Right.
You know what I mean? DJ Envy is a full-blown DJ.
You know Angela Yee just got her own.
Yeah, that's why she's leaving the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, though, Charlamagne got a whole...
I know. He's awesome. He's my favorite.
So I'm saying it's just the fact that platform of them talking to other people and them starting to invest when they got with iHeart and Revolt TV, that's when they actually started having the YouTube stuff or having all their stuff being, you know what I mean, like circulate, because that's paid promotion.
Yeah.
You got to do that. And if you want to do that, I'm with it. I'm with it. So it's the fact that we have to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
We can't look at it as like we're trying to save money, we're trying to do that. No, we got to spend this money because this is something that we love to do, and this is something that can actually be bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
So there's your signs right there of camera, this and that, and you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Knowing that in this world you're not comfortable talking to people. That's God right there.
I don't even think I'm not comfortable. It's just, I don't know. I guess
you don't care to.
I don't know. I guess physically, like being out talking to people, you don't find many people with anything of substance to talk about. Like
hold on. Like this not off topic, but this is funny.
Oh, look, you kind of see my muscle bulger right there.
Wow.
Oh, look at that shit, boy.
You know what's funny? When we did our live podcast, right?
Uh-huh. I didn't like that.
You didn't like it, but guess what? That's what a radio show would be like. People tuning in.
Yeah, but I don't like it because I think the people that we had on our social media were kind of lame.
That's true.
Everything was like a joke.
That's true.
And again, this is something that I take serious, but not serious. You know what I mean?
Right. But but I feel like once you start paying promotion and you get the real people, those people fizzle out.
Yeah.
So you got to think about it. That was like that because of what we were going through at that time. It was a pandemic. Everybody was on their phone.
Yeah.
So
people just didn't have like I said, everything was like a joke.
Right.
And I think it was more like people were just uncomfortable with
the conversation
rather than it not being a good conversation.
Right. But when you get people that
then
that turns to something else.
I mean, and the people that we've had on thus far have all had pretty decent conversation.
Right.
Like I said, that one we did with the guys, I thought that shit was amazing.
Yeah.
That shit was amazing. Like for me, I love when you can get, like I said, when you get people that want to talk like real conversation,
because they look at it as they look at podcasting as a platform, and they look at it as like, yo, they really gotta. That's why everybody was hitting you up like, hell yeah, I'll talk to you about that because I love that you guys got a podcast. Yeah. This is hard. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is hard to do. This is hard to sit up here every week and do at least one episode of 4. We do an hour plus almost every episode, and be consistent with it. Which is why some people be like, you still got your podcast? Like, those are the people that fizz out. Because once we start hitting other people that actually like listening, we got people across not across the world listening to us.
Yeah.
Translated. That means we doing something.
Yeah.
So who's to say that we won't put money behind it and then upgrade studios, be somewhere where it's visually sexy.
Yeah. I know, because I mean we're Paul thought we were in a
full-blown studio. No, we're in our house.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? So what happens when we take the money from what we hate to do and put it to where we do so we don't have to do what we hate to do anymore?
Yeah.
Because this comes like this.
Right.
So, I mean, babe, you on the right track, I think. You already
Everybody
know.
keeps telling me that.
But
and
you don't listen.
I know. It's just hard. It's so hard. I don't know why it's so hard for me.
That's because.
But it's so hard for me just to accept things as they are. And not like, oh, you have a 4-bedroom house and you want a 5 and you can't. No, it's just like, I don't know. I guess because I've always been like, even as a kid, like I know that there's so much more to the world and I want that more. Whatever that more is that's meant for me, I want it.
Right.
Like I crave it. And not having it or knowing that it's there and feeling like I haven't reached that point yet, it drives me crazy because I guess maybe I'm just ready to see it.
Right.
Maybe, it's kind of like that. You know how people will be like, I'm going to have everything I didn't have as a kid type shit. Like, I didn't go without as a kid. Like, I wasn't so poor or anything like that. But,
Right.
Being in a big family.
There's a couple things that's overlooked.
And so it's like, there was things that I always wanted or trips that I always wanted to take. And, now I have my own kids and
you want to do it.
I'm not that I want to live through them, but I want to make sure that everybody has whatever it is that they need, that they feel they want.
Right.
And I want to help contribute to that. And if I can contribute to that doing something that I genuinely love, I want to do that. And the fact that I feel like I haven't reached that point yet, it makes me crazy. And then it makes me question. And then it makes me doubt. And when I doubt, then I get in a funk of like, okay, but God, where you at, boy? Because I've been calling on you for a long time.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? That's how it makes me feel. And I know that that's not necessarily right. But at the same time, like, I'm following your rules, bro. You told me to be a good person, and I'll be trying to be a good person. Now, this is supposed to be both of us in this.
I like how you got the final thought that you just did, like Jerry Springer. It's supposed to be us both of us.
This is supposed to be both of us. And that's how I feel. Sometimes I just feel like, God, you leaving me hanging. And I know he's not. I know he's not. I know he's not. I know he's not. But I just feel like he's
not.
So.
I know what to do. I know exactly what to do.
I know, like I said, I know I'm not the only one that feels like this. So let me know if you, at any point in your life, now it don't have to be right now, shit, if at any point in your life you ever just felt like, damn, like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
I've done everything that I was supposed to do.
Right.
Where you at?
Right.
God, help me. Help me. Okay? Don't say it.
I was going to say it. My bad. You see,
I know. Help me understand. Give me a message. Give me a sign. Not them signs.
No, give me a sign.
Like I see my hummingbirds. Like when I'm like, okay, I'm good. That's my sign. That's my good omen. Like God is like, girl, I'm not going to tell you again because y'all know me and birds have a thing.
Good.
So when I see my baby hummingbirds, I know that I'm doing whatever I'm supposed to be doing.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I just.
Stop tripping.
I know. I think it's more of like a mental psych out.
It is.
Rather than actually something.
Yep.
That's why I need to go talk to a therapist.
Nah, you doing good, baby.
No, I need to talk to
No,
a
I know
therapist.
you need to talk to a therapist because you're crazy, but I'm saying.
I am not crazy.
I'm just joking. I love you.
But I do need to talk to a therapist. I think everybody should. Once in their life, talk to a therapist.
I'm going to cut that out.
What, me cracking my knuckles?
No, I said I love you and you just didn't hear me.
I heard you. I just didn't say it back. I didn't know it was like a,
okay.
one of those exchanges.
Let's go. Let's get out. I got to pee.
Y'all just listen to
Talk That Shit
with the Melvins.
We out this thing.
Bye.
Peace out.